Hi guys, it's Dr. Selene with BU Medical. Let's talk all about lips today. It's one of those things that there's lots of different options for lips and things that we can do. So let's talk about what those are. One of the things that I've noticed a lot of people coming in with is on social media, you get to hear a lot about something called a lip flip. And what it is just a little Botox that gets placed in the upper part of the lip that's supposed to show a little bit more volume. A lot of people have smoker's lines, even if they haven't smoked before. There's these little etched lines. They have kind of a pursed look to the mouth. It makes them look older. People have lost the border, the vermilion border of the lip, that they no longer have the definition that they had. Their lipstick bleeds out of their lips, and they start to look sad or mad, or the bottoms turn in the corners of the mouth, and things that just are annoying and make our lower face look a little bit older. There are things that we can do that can help soften those areas and improve those areas, but it's really annoying when you've never smoked a day of your life and you have all these lines around your mouth. We have some people who love using straws, and so they've been trying to protect the whiteness of their teeth, sucking on a straw, and has created some lines. So there's lots of different ways that we create these little smoker's lines or loss of volume. As we age, we lose collagen, elastin. That includes around the mouth, which is a high movement area. And so we get aged around our mouth area. That is one of those areas that we're constantly using. So we kiss, we laugh, we talk, we eat. This is a very, very mobile area. And that too gets aged as well. And oftentimes we forget about sunscreen on our lips, but there's some lip glosses that have sunscreen, but we don't often put sunscreen in that lower part of the area. So some people, including myself, have gotten really severe burns around the mouth, causing blistering of the lips and things that cause trauma that later catch up to us, that is sun damage. So we want to take care of our perioral space. It's one of those areas that now, with people wearing masks, they can look beautiful on the top with some Botox. The moment they take off their mask, I'm like, you just aged yourself 10 years, because now I can see all this sag and drag and lines around the mouth. So they actually look a little bit younger with a mask on. We want it to be the case that the moment you take off your mask, that people are like, whoa, you're really young looking. I thought you looked young, but now you look beautiful and refreshed in the lower part of the face. So what is a lip flip? A lip flip is where we use a little bit of Botox in the muscle that surrounds the mouth. There's a fancy name for it, the orbicularis oris, which is a round type muscle that goes all the way around the mouth. It's a constricting guy, so you can imagine it's going in and out and in and out as we're speaking. And what the goal is if we put a little Botox in this muscle that is kind of like a band around the mouth, if we release it, it'll then result in a little bit of pink show of that upper lip, as well as prevent you from that movement, so a pursing. So when we're asking to do Botox lip flip on you, we may ask you to kiss so we can see exactly where those muscles are really pulling. Some people might pull more centered and some people might pull more outwardly. Most of the time, a lip flip is in the upper part of the lip, because that's really where people do their pursing from. So we can put little units of Botox in that area to relax that. Because it's a smaller muscle, it's not a huge, big, bulky muscle, we can use anywhere typically from 5 to 10 units for an upper lip flip. Now it relaxes the muscle, so you're not going to be able to purse as easily. You may not be able to drink through a straw. You may not be able to suck on certain things that you're used to sucking on, and it does change the way you pronounce your P's, because you're pa. So you are using that. So some of my newscasters, I won't recommend it. I'll recommend other modalities for them. Is it long lasting? Absolutely not. So it's one of those that you're gonna repeat every 4 to 6 weeks, even though in our heads we've put, hey, Botox should last 3 months. Imagine this guy's getting moved every minute and all the time. Even if you're not a big talker, you're eating, you're laughing, you're moving, you're pursing, all those sorts of things that you don't even realize. You are constantly moving that part of the face. So that is the downside. The upside is it's cheap. It gives you an option to kind of see if it works. It doesn't work on everybody. I'll tell you on myself, I am not a purser. So I don't make that movement enough to warrant putting Botox in there for myself. We can often tell right away whether you're a good candidate for it or not, just by watching you speak. Some people, you will watch their mouth move and they are hyper mobile in that area, but it's not that everybody's eligible for it. And it is a subtle result, and it does feel a little bit funny sometimes. So the alternate option for this is lasers and filler. So those are options that are oftentimes better for smokers' lines and better for fullness of the lips. They are more costly. The lasers do have downtime, and so you do have to be prepared for that, but they can almost be curative in some cases. So if you have really deep lines and you say, let me try the lip flip, it's okay. Is it really gonna cure it? No, it's just gonna relax the appearance of the lines. And then with filler, it volumizes the lines. So those lines don't go away as much as they just fill out. So maybe they're not as grooved, they're not as deep, but really if you wanna do something that cures it or ablates it or shaves it down, that's gonna be more laser. Now, what filler can do is it can volumize the lip itself and the upper lip lines, although you want to be careful. You don't want that Marge Simpson protruding look to it. You still want a definite border for the lips. You can put a little bit of filler in the border, and that might bleed and give a little bit of an improvement of those lip lines, as well as your practitioner can also just lay a little bit of filler in that space between your nose and your lips. So it's a beautiful combination to do both the lips themselves as well as a little bit of the lip lines. Keep in mind that the product choice for this might change a little bit because you might want something a little bit softer that can lay really evenly in those lip lines. So sometimes that'll be a different option if you want a ton of projection of the lips. And sometimes we'll just make do, but we'll often recommend things in different modalities. So we might say, hey, you really should consider lasering those lines and maybe putting a little bit of Botox in there to relax and get some muscle memory to relax those lines up, and then follow that up with, if it doesn't work well enough, if it didn't quite give you the result that you want, or you loved it and you loved having more volume, go ahead and follow it up with a little bit of filler. Remember, filler can look really natural in this area. It doesn't have to look crazy or ridiculous. It can look like your lip. Initially, I always say people come in, the moment they sit in the chair, I would say about 80% say, I want to look natural and I don't want to look like a duck. And I always know that line, and I say, you're going to look natural, but today you may look like a duck. Remember, there is trauma going in by putting in the needle itself, and so that causes a little bit of swelling. We are delineating the border of the lip oftentimes, which can cause its own version of swelling and a little bit of that duck-like appearance. It takes a couple days to weeks for the product to integrate in the tissue, but as it integrates into the tissue, it will have a soft, natural look to it. Keep in mind that sometimes it can bulk up or migrate, and there's things that we can do for that. Or if you have old filler that you don't like the way it looks anymore, or somebody tried to attack those upper lip lines with too much filler, let's dissolve that and start over. It's okay. You know, this was a learning curve for us, 10 years ago, where people were doing some funky stuff, and sometimes it can hang around, and sometimes we just need to start with a clean palette, start over, let's reapproach this, let's get that definition back, and let's approach this in an educated manner, in a stepwise manner. If you can be patient in the process and not want all results right now, you can always start with a lip flip first, or even a laser first, then a lip flip, and then your filler. It's an educated way to approach your face. Don't rush into things with your face. Don't overdo your lips to the point where you look like a different human, or you're filled with lumpy bumps because you're trying to achieve a look that you can't ever achieve because God didn't make you that way. Your anatomy is not lent that way. Approach these things thoughtfully and slowly, and that's how you get the most beautiful aesthetic result, is just going through it methodically, and we can walk you through that. Some people are great lip flip candidates, some people are great laser candidates, some people are all three, filler, lip flip, and laser candidates. And if it's a real area of concern, don't chase your trail trying to look like somebody else or trying to achieve a result that's not attainable with the modality that you think. So a 60-year-old who's trying to get rid of her smoker's lines with 5 units of Botox is probably an unreasonable expectation. So just know that there's lots of things that we have. It's a process, it's a journey. We're happy to walk through it with you. We'll give you the risks and benefits of everything. Have reasonable expectations of the results that you're going to get, but we're here to guide you through it. Remember guys, we want you guys to look great so you can feel great, so you can do great things in this life and look hot in the process. Take care, bye.